Controversy brewing over whether mask-wearing rules on airlines are too restrictive. Our next guest says he was bullied by one carrier's employee for not following the guidelines. Watch this.
So you had an issue on the plane?
No, I didn't.
Not wearing masks?
No, I didn't.
Refusing to?
No, I didn't have an issue.
Are you sure? Because that's what they're telling me.
Yeah.
You got 3 flaps and
They're misinformed.
You're misinformed?
Yeah.
You know the rules, right?
No, I
They're
don't.
pretty standard.
All right, so joining us to talk about what happened is Dr. Cordie Williams, a constitutional attorney, a decorated Marine, and holistic neurological chiropractor and founder of 1776 Forever. Doctor, thanks for coming on today and joining us, and thank you for your service as well. We'll start with that. We played a little clip of the video here. Could you tell us what happened on that flight?
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, my name is Dr. Cordie Williams. I run an organization called 1776 Forever Free, and you know, we're going on this freedom tour around the United States. We're actually going to be in Larkspur, Colorado, from 12 to 3 p.m. this Saturday, the 26th. And we were coming back from one of our locations at the Capitol in Sacramento, or actually headed to Sacramento from San Diego. We're on a flight. I'm sitting there, and what I do all the time is I have my mask attached to my ears. You know, it's attached on both ears. And I have it down, and all I do is I just leave my water, you know, open, unbottled, and I'm just sipping it. I've done that on the last 7 Southwest flights. I've never had an issue at all. And all of a sudden, these flight attendants, before we even take off, start coming over. They're kind of like, oh, hey, sir, can you pull up your mask? And I'm like, sure. So I pull it up. But then a couple of seconds later, of course, I'm drinking water because that's what I do. I'm sipping water, just like everybody else, just like the last 7 flights. All of a sudden, after about 5 times, we haven't even taken off yet, ma'am, a flight attendant comes over, kind of leans down next to me, and she goes, excuse me, sir, if there's a problem with you understanding our mask policy, I can take you off the plane right now and properly explain it to you. And I said, no, ma'am, I'm okay. I get what the mask policy is. I said, but I'm sipping water. She said, well, in between sips, it needs to be over your nose and mouth. And I said, okay, well, what do you expect me to do? Am I supposed to go like this? Am I supposed to go like this? Yeah. Is that how I need to do it? Yeah. Right? And so she's like, don't be sarcastic. And she walked away, and then I didn't hear anything until I got off the plane, and the flight attendant standing next to this guy you see in the film, and she's literally like, it was him. It was him. And we never heard anything about it until later, you know, the following day, Saturday night, in fact, which is also in the video, when literally the flight, ma'am, had completely disappeared from our app. And we're like, well, that's unusual. That doesn't make sense. And, you know, we call them. And, yeah, sure enough, if we had gotten to the airport gate, which we did some filming there, too, to see if we got a different story, if we had gotten to the airport gate, we never would have had a flight home. It's my 6th wedding anniversary. I got two small boys under 4 waiting for me, and now I don't have a flight home.
Yeah, so at least, you know, you were able to make it here, and it seems like that, you know, you were able to take the flight, right? They didn't kick you off or anything?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well,
yeah, I mean, quite frankly, we've seen a few of these stories take place. In fact, recently a New Hampshire mom had said that she was kicked off an American airline flight last week because her 2-year-old son wouldn't wear his mask. You know, I fly as well. I wear a mask when I fly, but, you know, I was in an airport. I saw some woman yelling at someone who was similar to your situation. He was eating a snack. And, of course, you know, you have to remove your mask to do so. But what does this say kind of about humanity and how you're viewing how people even interact with each other when we are dealing with a very difficult time being in this pandemic together?
Well, what's interesting about it is, you know, and I hate to say this, but it smells of impropriety about the politics around this. There's so many people that are drawing party lines around masking because 9 times out of 10, I'll just be honest, if somebody's a Republican or a conservative, they're not getting on to somebody for not wearing their mask 9 times out of 10. If they're kind of leaning left, progressive, Marxist, communist, what the left has become, then they're totally against you if you're not wearing your mask. And it's just such a fear play. People are buying into the fake news because, I mean, even if you read all the research out there about masking, this is the first time in epidemiological history that we've ever worn a mask to prevent, to prevent a virus. It's violating every OSHA law out there. OSHA talks about how you're only supposed to have 10% toxicity in your body with CO2 exposure. If somebody just does 3 inhales and then they exhale into their mask, within probably 30 to 45 seconds, they would be at 12%. So the whole thing is really asinine. The fact that now you can't drink water is, I mean, it's just another draconian measure of what, if Sleepy Joe gets into office, what we can look forward
Well,
to.
I know you were just trying to stay hydrated on the flight. I'm sorry you had to deal with that fallout there. Dr. Cordie Williams, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you taking the time. Do want to note, too, that medical experts have advised mask wearing during this time for our viewers at home. So thank you, doctor. We appreciate your time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, he's already the greatest basketball player.